Shropshire lay quietly between the hills of central England and the Welsh border, its green valleys and winding rivers hiding secrets that had long been buried. Atop a gentle rise overlooking the River Severn stood Fitz Manor, its stone walls weathered by centuries, its windows reflecting the pale English sky. To the casual visitor, it was a picturesque manor, a relic of England's rich past. Yet those who ventured within its walls quickly discovered it was not history alone that lived there. Fitz Manor had a pulse, a rhythm of whispers, footsteps, and cold draughts that seemed to follow the living. The manor's origin stretched back to 1450, though records suggest a Saxon hall once occupied the site. It had been mentioned in the Domesday Book and referenced in the charter of Henry I. A private church stood within the grounds, silent and somber, the kind of building whose stones absorbed more than sunlight and rain, they absorbed sorrow. The Bally family, owners since the 18th century, had turned the manor into a bed and breakfast, opening its doors to travelers seeking beauty and history. Few realized the price of entering. They were stepping into a house that had long learned to remember every cruelty, every death, every quiet terror. Guests often gathered in the dining room, admiring the high ceilings, oak beams, and polished silver. But as candles flickered and wine glasses clinked, some noticed it, the sound. A moan, soft at first, like someone whispering for mercy. Then the weeping began, echoing off the stone walls. The room seemed to grow colder, the shadows longer. Many claimed they could feel the sorrow pressing against them, a heaviness that no amount of conversation or laughter could dispel. The legend spoke of a priest, his life twisted by the shame and secrets of the era. Rumor held that he was crucified in this very room, punished by men who could not forgive him or by a society too fearful to understand. Were the cries his pleas or those of the spectators who had witnessed his torment? No one could say. Guests had fled the room mid-meal, terrified that the figure of the priest might appear, his eyes hollow, his hands reaching, his sorrow eternal. The Red Bedroom was a room of beauty and terror in equal measure. Guests who stayed there described the chill that descended the moment the door closed. The bed was inviting, the curtains rich and dark, but many were too uneasy to rest. A figure of a lady had been seen here, her presence subtle yet undeniable. She moved through the room, vanishing at the edges of vision only to reappear in the cemetery outside or near the old church. A painting discovered in the attic years ago resembled this spectral figure. It was as if the manor itself had preserved her likeness, warning the living that she had not gone, that her eyes watched, and that her sorrow clung to the stones. Some nights, guests felt her beside the bed, a cold hand brushing against their arm, or heard her quiet sobs drifting through the night. No one knew her story, only that her sadness was as palpable as the chill in the room.
In the orange bedroom, warmth and dread combined in unsettling ways. Guests reported an overwhelming smell of tobacco, pungent and unmistakable, though no one smoked in the manor. The aroma would rise from the floorboards, drift from the corners, or cling to the bedposts. Many attributed it to the ghost of a family member who had adored imported tobacco, a presence that lingered in the room even after centuries. The scent was not merely olfactory, it carried with it a sense of being watched.
Guests sometimes glimpsed movement in the corners of their eyes, shadows that flickered and vanished, as though the spirit sought company, acknowledgement, or perhaps a quiet indulgence in memory. Some left the room with a shiver and the lingering taste of smoke on their tongues, convinced that the past and present overlapped in this chamber of spectral nostalgia. Fitz Manor's church was not merely ornamental. Its stones and spires held centuries of prayers, curses, and unspoken grief. The lady from the red bedroom was often seen wandering near the church, her gaze distant, her form ethereal. She walked the grounds as though seeking something, a presence in the shadows that no living person could satisfy. The cemetery, ancient and overgrown, was quiet during the day, but at dusk whispers drifted from the gravestones. Guests walking the grounds after dark spoke of feeling watched, hearing rustling leaves where no wind blew, and glimpsing figures that vanished before approach. The manor seemed alive with memory, the pain, longing, and secrets of those long dead made tangible to anyone who dared step too close.
Fitz Manor was not just a building, it was a repository of memory and emotion, a place where the past never truly ended. The moans in the dining room, the spectral lady in the red bedroom, the pungent tobacco in the orange bedroom. They were reminders that time here did not flow as it did elsewhere. The manor remembered. It remembered every tear, every cruelty, every unspoken sorrow. Visitors left Fitz Manor changed, carrying the sensation of cold hands brushing theirs, of eyes following them in the dark, of whispers that lingered long after leaving. The beauty of Shropshire could not erase the knowledge that within the manor, history lived, breathed, and waited. And for those who stayed too long, for those who dared to explore its halls at night, Fitz Manor had a way of reminding them. Some memories refuse to die.